Hello everyone, how are you today? I am Gabriele and welcome to my channel. Today Punch Packet posted a new weekly recap for some possible mechanics for what they have done so far. They have been play testing both Pteranodon and Deinosuchus with the functionality testing. They need our ideas basically because Deinosuchus is an aquatic animal and they need a new wallowing mechanic, or they need our feedback basically. So don't say later if you don't like the new wallowing mechanic that it should have done better, because they have just asked us what do we think about wallowing mechanic. Now some new ideas have come out on the on the general feedback. A very good idea in my opinion is Mr. Donut or Mrs. Donut idea. Basically you have a wallowing area underwater where you can just stay there. It is deep underwater with some fishes that will say this is the area where you want to stay. If you go that deep underwater with your Deinosuchus and you have a lot of bleeding on yourself, this will temporarily clot your bleeding as long as you stay in this area. It won't be the fishes work that are around this area doing the clot bleeding, rather the water, the mud that is around it, which is more dense. So this is a good idea. Plenty of other ideas for wallowing in mud for clot bleeding for the Deinosuchus are like leave it like it is. For example, the Deinosuchus needs to bask from time to time, so it will need to go on an island or on the shore and to just wallow in mud like any normal terrestrial will do. This is another idea, so just leave it like it is. If you have any idea on what to do with Deinosuchus when you need to stop bleeding, please let me know in the comment section below. I will make sure to post it in the general feedback when I can. Now, the Punch Packet roadmap recap is about also we are nearly ready to tick off status effect in the animation checklist for the Deinosuchus, as all of its pinned animations have been completed, with only the staggers now remaining. So all animations apart from staggering animation for the Deinosuchus have been completed. That is good. And I guess the wallowing mechanic too, that's still work in progress. On top of that, we're looking at ways we could handle bleed differently for the Deinosuchus. What I've just said. Please let developers know what you think about Deinosuchus bleeding, about the Deinosuchus resistance for bleeding and Deinosuchus wallowing in mud. Will it be the same for any terrestrial, or will Deinosuchus need to go to special areas underwater to stop bleeding, or just stay up water over the surface and just bask on an isle full of mud? Now these are plenty of ideas. After all, you can find islands full of mud in Barry Swamp and Suco Swamp, for example. Now, right now you need to wallow in mud to clot your wounds, an enormous disadvantage for anything that spends a significant amount of time in the water, as the life-saving mud would wash right off you. Yes, because if you wallow in mud and you enter water, the mud goes away. So you basically clot your wounds for a second, just the time you wallow in mud and after you go in water. If you have got any suggestions in mind, let us know in general feedback. We are eager to hear it. You should also keep in mind that tackling this particular challenge now means that we will have tackled it for aquatics that we may implement in the future. So they want to make the wallowing mechanic, the clot bleeding mechanic, actually how to stop bleeding mechanic, in a different way rather than wallowing in mud. This person feedback was just great. Make sure to check it. Basically, if a player is in the school of fish with bleed active, this can be shown with rapid bubbles at the surface, allowing competitors to find the injured, but they would have to swim deep to get them. Basically, the fishes aren't the ones doing the healing. It's the area deep in the surface that other players must go to find the victim that is bleeding and that is like clotting its bleeding by staying in that area, in that muddy area underwater that is clotting, that is blocking the bleeding as far as the Deinosuchus or the animal is staying underwater. Now, this is a very interesting mechanic for all aquatics to come in the future, like Minmi, Bepiosaurus, or even more aquatic. I'm no expert, so you tell me which can be more aquatics. Plesiosaurus, but that is a big one. Well, all in all, that was all for today. Please let me know what you think about it. What would you do for blocking, for clotting the bleeding on a Deinosuchus, on an aquatic animal, other than wallowing? Should it remain the same? I don't think so. I think it should have a different mechanic than wallowing, but all ideas are accepted, basically. Please let me know, let developers know in the general feedback of their Discord server. You can find all the links below. So they will think of a new mechanic for the clotting bleeding for Deinosuchus. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.